Okay guys, I'm here today for André Galvao. Huge honor for me. In 2022, first time I came here, I think it was 2019.
2019, right before the pandemic.
Yeah, guys, we were here in the third room of the academy. There were 3 mat rooms, right?
Yes.
And we were in the main room over there, and there was probably 80 people on the mat, between the 2 mats, right? Yeah. And there was classes over here as well.
Yes.
That's unbelievable. And you're doing this and training for the ADCC 2022.
Exactly. Since 2010, when I moved here to the United States, and we opened up the headquarters in San Diego, we're doing this work, where I train, teach, coach, help people to believe that they can live with Jiu-Jitsu. They can use Jiu-Jitsu as a tool. I'm using Jiu-Jitsu as a tool to help people.
Yeah.
And I believe that.
And now you're becoming the dad champion too.
Yeah, my daughter's doing great.
That's amazing.
Yeah, Sarah's doing amazing. She's a great daughter, awesome daughter. She has amazing mom as well. Angelica definitely has a huge role on her performances, and her training. So she's very good. Not because it's my daughter, but she's
I'm seeing
she loves Jiu-Jitsu. She loves Jiu-Jitsu.
Yeah.
That's the most important thing. And I tell her that when you do what you love, if you do it 100%, you succeed. That's
there's the example here.
Oh,
that's awesome.
And you too.
Thank you. But guys, Andre is going to show us here the new position that he had developed a long time ago that he's using more and more and more. That is the Hippoplata.
Yes.
And I have seen you using this from every position.
Yes.
But you made an entire course all about the Hippoplata from my favorite position, right? From the over-under, right?
Exactly, how to kill a Bernardo Faria over underpass. Pressure pass.
I'm not in retirement. But anyways, let's do it.
Yeah. And I know Bernardo, he always studied my fights before.
I thought I would compete against you at some point.
We never compete against each other, but but we're here. We're just
I used the Hippoplata from the deep half grip. That was always
because the over under is a deep half from the top, right?
Yep,
So you're pretty much doing deep half here, but you're on top of me. Yep. So once your opponent is here, it's very important to not allow your opponent to sink your knee here, right?
Yep.
So your thigh cannot be between his legs. So you gotta make sure you always have the frame turn. So you always make sure that this frame is blocking him. It's not a good idea to have my leg like this, okay? Because that's when you start putting a lot of weight on me here. Exactly, right? So right when your opponent start getting the underhook, it's when I start blocking his bicep here with this hand, and I use my elbow on the floor, okay? So that way when Bernardo put the weight on me, so now I can use my elbow here, and I can be relaxed. So it's better for me to have my elbow on the floor. Try to put your weight, so now I keep like this.
Yeah, okay. That's different.
Yeah, so instead of keeping pushing the opponent like this, right, so you're here. So now, the second thing here is his head, right? It's not a good idea for me to have his head in one side and his body on the other side. So it's always very important to push his head with your hand to this side and you use your kneecap right on his face. He's gonna fight to try to pass the knee right here, right? Once my knee goes over his shoulder here, right beside his head, he's gonna feel comfortable. So it's not a good idea for me to have his neck on my inner thigh. So I need to place my kneecap here. And now what I do here, I frame and I use my kneecap aligned with my hip while I'm controlling his wrist. So now if Bernardo tries to put the weight on me, I stiff my body. Notice that I have my shoulder on the floor and I elevate my hip. Because now if Bernardo tries to move forward, I can use my shoulder on the mat to scoop back, right? So now what I do here, by framing this way, I will sink my leg through. And that's why I call Hippoplata, because it's like omoplata with my hip, right? So I go like this. I know the hippo is a name of an animal, right?
Yeah, I was thinking it was the animal.
Exactly, but it's also because of your hip too. And it's nice to have a name of an animal in the positions, right? So once you're here, now you're gonna squeeze your hips against his arm, right? And that way he cannot stand up. And I can put my elbow on the floor right now, right? I like to use my leg right there, okay? I don't like to put my foot here. So I keep over because if I put it right here, he's gonna roll. Roll, Bernardo. He's gonna roll. Even here, I still have things to do and then I show later. But for now, let's just learn how to set up the position. So he got there. So as soon as he got here, go grab, put the weight on me. I go 1, 2, push, and then I go here. So now I put like the weight off my hip over his arm. Okay, once I'm here, elbow on the floor, and then I'm gonna sit and control his lat, and I can post my hand on the floor right here. So what I like to do here right now, I like to search his back. There's other things I can do, but first we're gonna go to the back. So I'll keep my top leg between his legs, and I'll kick the bottom leg out. And notice that I keep my weight, the weight of my butt, over his arm. Try to take the arm out, Bernardo. It's hard for him to take the arm out. So I slow him down. Now is the key of the technique here. I have my left side on his arm. Now I'm gonna apply the right side on his arm. So I always have my weight on his arm. Okay,
yeah,
I can,
stuck here.
So you're always stuck, right?
Yeah.
So I cannot, one thing that happens when people are doing this, they go like this.
And then
you can sit. Exactly. So,
yeah, so everything is crazy well.
Yeah, so everything is connected. So once I'm here, I'm gonna shift my hip when my weight is on your arm.
Yes.
You see? So now I can easily like get the seatbelt and then start taking your back.
Man, that's incredible.
So I put all my weight always here.
Yeah, and my arm was completely stuck.
Exactly.
So one more time.
Again. So I'm here. So I'm blocking. So he's trying to put the weight. I frame. So I can stiff my leg here already with my knee under your neck. Try to put your weight here.
No way.
Right? And then I lift my hip, kind of like I'm doing an arm bar. And then I roll with my forehead on the floor. Go back where I'm. Yep. So this roll here is important. Sometimes I teach this and people want to do berimbolo. So it's not like a berimbolo, right? So you go like this. It's like an old man bolo, right? So now I sit with my hip on his hand. Now when I kick my leg, I shift my hip, but I put the weight of my hip on his arm the whole time. Okay? So his arm is stuck. Now I get it back.
And my arm is stuck here.
Yeah, your arm is stuck. So it's a free access to the neck, you know?
Man, that's amazing. And you have all the other counters as well, right? For example, if I roll, you roll with me, right?
Exactly.
You have all the other sequence, right?
Yeah, yeah. It's like omoplata, you know, like when you put the omoplata like this, and then the person rolls, you know, and then you roll like following the person like to keep the omoplata. So you do the same with this position. So as soon as you get here, I stiff, I grab, I go in here. If you roll, I can use my hip on your arm, kind of like you feel like a keyboard shoulder lock, and I force you to roll again. Exactly. And if you roll here, I can roll as many times as I can. But there's so much that you can do here, right? In this case here, I can put my foot right on your arm here.
Yeah.
And then I can start
go to triangle.
Going to triangle, or I can start doing scrambles to the back.
Man, that's incredible.
Right? And so I take your back again. So there's a lot of things you can work from this position.
And Rizal, even though you shot this entire structure about the Hippoplata from the over-under pass, you also do that from the deep half guard,
yes,
from the double under,
yes,
from the X guard.
yes.
Without even teaching, can you just like go through here just so everybody can see? Because it's pretty impressive.
Yeah, sure.
So
you
don't even need to
deep half.
To teach it, just like do the move, you know, like just so they can see, because it's mind blowing.
Yeah, so if you're here, right, I just shift. Then I grab here, so now we go. One, then.
And that's incredible. Then from the X guard.
From the X guard. So you hear, like, if they underhook you here, they usually try to sit up to sweep you, and then you just dive here. So right now, you see that my leg is outside? He's gonna roll, and I can keep like forcing him. Look.
Man, that's crazy.
Yeah, and then I can end up on the crucifix.
Double under.
Yeah, double under. So if I'm here, I go like this.
Man, that's amazing.
You know, and if you roll, I can go back to the triangle.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah, so guys, check this out. So he does this on every single position.
Yeah.
And Andre just showed the entire structure all about this position from the over-under pass, which there are a bunch of variations, ifs, counters, and...
Yeah, a lot of variations. I show like attacks to the leg as well. We can go for leg entanglements from there as well.
From the Hippoplata.
From the Hippoplata.
Right.
You can go crucifix, you can go to the back in a different way.
I remember in the finals of Pan Am's 2008 Open
2008,
class
yes.
against Tosi.
Yes.
You did this from the hip hefter.
Yes, I actually used this move like in 2 different fights. One was from the bottom.
Yep.
If you watch my finals against Tarsis Humphries, I used like 2 times on him, and then he ended up hurting his shoulder.
Yeah, and
it
this
was kind of like a shoulder lock.
Yeah.
And also I did on Tosi in the finals. That's when everybody like, oh, this is the deep half guard.
That was the one that I was always like, if I ever compete against this guy, he's gonna try to
yeah, because I actually had a friend of mine. His name is Alfredo Miras.
I remember him.
Right?
Yeah.
And he loves over under. He loves deep half. And I started developing this technique against him because always like when I was rolling with him, he was like applying the deep half like this, and I always get stuck here, you know. So I simply like shift my knee and then I grab here.
And then you have it.
And then from here, look, I just
I'm
start
completely
like forcing it to go this way, you know.
Man, that's amazing.
Attack the crucifix if I want. There's a lot.
No, and I love it that the first course is all from the over-under pass because I think it's the most simple one, right? Because it's this.
Yeah, it's the introduction, and you can start seeing like how the technique works, the mechanics, so you have the feeling. The importance of putting the frame against the neck and how to roll using your forehead. And the detail of like keeping your hip over the tricep to make the transition in order to attack the back is the most important thing, especially if you want to go to the back. There's like a lot of variations because always when you do that, after you do the first time, the person feels like if I stay on turtle, I'm in trouble. They start rolling, and that's when I start developing more.
No, and I feel like almost strength, you know, like this everywhere I am, you can always control my wrist and go to that position.
Yeah.
And here we just talking about the ones that I know that you do.
Yeah.
How many other positions that you do that we didn't even talk here.
Yes, exactly.
But anyways, guys, Andre just showed the entire structure, all about the Hippoplata from the over-under pass, and it's going to be at IBJJFanatics.com very soon, so maybe by the time you're watching it's already there, so make sure to check that out, and thanks so much for that.
Man, thank you so much. Alright, see you.
Please help me out to grow my YouTube channel, just click subscribe, and to watch more videos, just click under see more videos. I hope you enjoyed.
IBJJFanatics.com. Use the promo code YouTubeFaria to get 10% off any instructional video. Improve your jiu-jitsu faster.